Assalamu alaikum, dear students. We are going to start our last lecture of the last leaf. So, we are going to finish our tragic story in this lecture, and let's start it. The lines start with when it was light enough the next morning, Johnsy again commanded that she be allowed to see. Uh, if we see these lines show that Johnsy has obsession, and that obsession is still prevalent here. It is still continued. She wants to see the leaf, the last leaf, and at it also her obsession shows her fragile mental state. Psychologically, she is not okay. Physically, she is also not okay, but mentally, she is also very weak. She is insisting. She wants to see the leaf again. Her insistence shows habitual fatalism. Though the story is approaching a turning point here, now we will see what happens. And it will be really heartbreaking. The leaf was still there. When she looks at it, when she looks out, she sees the leaf is still present. It has not fallen. How strange it is. And this sentence is a moment that is climactic. Despite the storm, despite the heavy rain, despite the snowfall, the leaf remains. How? Is it possible? It's not possible, but it has happened. This thing symbolizes hope and resilience. And that resilience is challenging Johnsy's despair. It is questioning her hopelessness. Johnsy lay for a long time looking at it. She recognizes her previous desire to die as wrong when she says that uh, Johnsy lay for a long time looking at it, and then she called to Sue, who was cooking something for her to eat. So here she continuously watches that leaf. She takes a lot of time, and then she realizes that Sue is not in the room. So she calls Sue, and Sue is doing, Sue is cooking something for her to eat. She wants to serve her some food. I have been a bad girl, Sue, said Johnsy. Now Sue will be taken aback when she says that I have been a bad girl. Now we see a change in Johnsy's thinking or change in her behavior. She has recognized something. And what is it? It is her previous desire to die. Now she thinks that it was wrong to desire for death. This sentence marks a moral and psychological turning point. That is her transition from despair toward life, toward hope. That is something we were not expecting. So now that sudden change changes our mind too. It changes our feelings too. All right. And then she says, something has made that last leaf stay there to show me how bad I was. She has realized that the if the leaf has not fallen, it means something is telling me that I am wrong. And the survival of the leaf gives her a lesson in perseverance and hope. Johnsy internalizes this lesson and resolves to live. She decides to live. If the leaf is fighting, if the leaf has survived in that wretched weather, so she can also survive. She should also fight for her survival. And now she decides, she says it is wrong to want to die. Now she has realized it, that she was wrong. Losing hope was not the ideal approach. I'll, I'll try to eat now. Now she decides that she will eat. But first, bring me a looking glass so that I can see myself. And then I'll sit up and watch you cook. Now, see, sudden change in her behavior. And she is willing to see herself in the mirror. She wants to see herself, how she looks. Then she will try to sit up and she will get involved in certain activity, that is looking at her, looking at her friend, or watching her cooking food. So she is going to take interest in life. She is coming back. She is coming back to life. And all these two, three sentences, these sentences show that she is returning to normal life. She's taking interest in food. She wants to see herself. She wants companionship. She wants other person's presence. She wants to enjoy the time. So here we see that her will to survive is restored. And that is amazing. That is a sudden, abrupt transit or transformation in her psychological in her psychological mood that has totally changed the story. Then we see an hour later, she said, Sue, someday I hope to paint the Bay of Naples. Now, she is again thinking about her ambitions. She is renewing ambition. That renewal of her ambition to fulfill her ambition reflects healing and renewed hope. Her hopes are alive again. She has come back to life. Psychologically, now she wants to survive. So, this reference to her dream underscores the story's theme of pursuing life and creativity. You have to pursue your life. You have to pursue your ambitions. And you're an artist, so creativity is the sole goal of your life. So she's back. The doctor came in the afternoon. Sue followed him into the hall outside Jonesy's room to talk to him. Now we see what doctor says. It is also, it has some suspense. What he says about her physical condition, right? So we hope that there will be some positive news. So we want to listen what the doctor says. The chances are good, said the doctor. Now see, doctor has given us a good news. Throughout the whole story, we have been in very bad mood. We have been in hopelessness because one of our characters is hopeless. But now, suddenly, abruptly, we listen to a good news that now she can survive. She has good chances to survive this disease, Mr. Pneumonia. So this confirms that Johnsy is physically recovering. See how when she changes herself psychologically, she also gets good chances to come out of the disease, to defeat that disease, to beat that disease. So that recovery, that physical recovery of Johnsy emphasizes the importance of care, emotional support, and hoping and healing. Healing cannot be achieved, or you cannot heal with only with medicine. If care, emotional support, hope, they complement the medicine, that then you can heal yourself, then someone can be healed. It is not isolation, it's the combination of different things. It's a combo. Then he says, he took Sue's thin, shaking hand in his. He gives her hope, and and he shows care, and then he says, give her good care, and she'll get well. So he advises Sue to keep caring for her, keep feeding her, keep giving her time, keep her engaged, and she will get well soon. And now, a turning point, a sad end is going to start. What doctor says, and now I must see another sick person in this house. His name is Berman, a painter, I believe. Pneumonia, too. That is a striking news, heartbreaking news. How Berman has got ill, we don't know the reason. We have no idea. So now the story has shifted. Its focus is shifted to Berman. And we have come to know that he is also ill and he is sick. Mr. Pneumonia has also touched him now. Mike is an old, weak man and he's very ill. Now see the condition of that old man. He is in trouble. He is physically weak. He was physically weak. We know that. And he says there is no hope for him. The person who was very hopeful, the person who has spent his whole life by keeping his hope alive, his hopes alive, that he would make he would create his masterpiece. The person is dying. But we take him to the hospital today, and the doctor says that we will try to protect him, to save his life, and we're taking him to hospital. We'll make it as easy for him as we can. So he is trying to help him too. That we will try to make uh, his life easy. We'll do our best to save him. The next day, the doctor said to Sue, "She's safe. You have done it. Food and care now. That's all." And that afternoon, Sue came to the bed where Johnsy lay. She put one arm around her. Now, the doctor tells Sue that she's perfectly all right and she's improving. What you have to do, you have to keep her feeding well, take care of herself, give her time, spend time with her, show affection, feed him well, and that will be enough because now she is mentally strong. She has uh, started uh, thinking positively. She has come back to life. Now she is showing mental strength, so she can come back to life, right? So, and at that afternoon, Sue came to the bed where Johnsy lay. She put one arm around her. Now they are showing intimacy. Sue, uh, uh, Sue is happy. She is satisfied that she is successful in saving her best friend's life. Her friend is back. She is going to be normal, and the that is the happiness that you can feel. And she put one arm around her. Now she's showing her affection towards her, right? She's showing her love for her. Such kind of friend is a blessing for everyone. If you have such kind of friend, you are lucky. You are the luckiest person in the world. I have something to tell you, she said. And now our tragic moment arrives, and she knows the news, and there is a possibility that that's why she comes closer to Johnsy, because she knows what has happened. I have something to tell you, she said. Mr. Berman died of pneumonia today in the hospital. The heartbreaking news is revealed now. Berman has gone. He has gone this world. He has started his new journey. And that is very painful for us because, on one side, the person who we were expecting who would die has come back to life, and the person about whom we have not thought of dying, he is dead. Suddenly he's dead. 2 days ago he was perfectly fine, but they come to know that he was ill only 2 days. She survived. She has been ill for so many days. Johnsy has been ill for many days, but still she comes back to life. But Mr. Berman doesn't get a fair chance to survive. Only 2 days, just 48 hours, and he dies. The person who was very strong, mentally, he was very strong. The person who wanted to live for other people. How he died, we don't know. And now we come to know in the next sentence how he died. Someone found him on the morning of the first day in his room. He was helpless with pain. There was no one who could help him, who could take care of him. Even Sue was not available because she didn't know where he was, how he was. And see, he was helpless with pain. Contrast. The person who was ready to help others could not find anyone to help him when he was in pain, when he was in trouble. So it is not necessary that if you are helping others, it is not necessary that you will also get help when you need it. That is how life goes on. That is how life proceeds. Now, more description. His shoes and his clothes were wet and as cold as ice. It means he was doing something in storm. He was outside when there was storm, when the rain was beating up. Everyone wondered where he had been. So nobody could understand where he was and why he was wet like this and why he was in such kind of wretched condition. So everyone wondered where he had been. The night had been so cold and wild. What he was doing in that wet and cold, wild and cold night. Everyone was wondering, but nobody could find the answer. So, what happened to him? That is a mystery, the mystery that is going to be solved in our next paragraph. And then they found some things. There was a light that he had taken outside, and there were his materials for painting. There was paint, green paint, and yellow paint, and there's and after and there's nothing, because we readers have realized the truth has been revealed that what he was doing outside, we have got the answer. What he was doing outside, he was painting green and yellow leaf for Johnsy, to keep her hopes alive, to give her false hope. But he didn't know that he would die himself. So all these details reveal that Berman created the last leaf himself. It was not original. That's why it was not falling. It didn't fall. It survived. It showed resilience. And creating the last leaf by Berman turns it into his literal masterpiece. He has sacrificed his life to keep someone's life safe, to protect someone, to give him someone hope. And he has created that masterpiece. That last leaf is his masterpiece. He has achieved after his death that he did not achieve in 40 years. He has created his masterpiece. All right. So it's very heartbreaking. And look out the window, dear, at the last leaf on the wall. Didn't you wonder why it never moved when the wind was blowing? She's asking question. Oh, my dear, it is Berman's great masterpiece. He painted it there the night that the last leaf fell. So last paragraph, last lines of a story that shows that abrupt tragedy. And we are revealed that it was Behrman who did that job, who saved the life of Johnsy by giving or sacrificing his own life. And here, this revelation completes the story's climax. Before that, we were happy that Johnsy had survived. But suddenly, after that, we hear very, very sad news, heartbreaking news that Behrman has gone. He has gone for his eternal journey. He's gone to his journey. He started his new journey for his eternal life. So Behrman's act is selfless. It is artistic. It is symbolic. The masterpiece is not a painting for fame here. He'll not get fame. Nobody's going to buy it. But it is an act of courage. It is an act of hope. And it is an act of inspiration. He inspires us, all of us, whoever read his story, the end, our hero is Behrman, because that selfless person has sacrificed his life to give someone an opportunity, to give someone a chance who is still young, who has not seen the whole world, who has not fulfilled his so many wishes, who has not completed his dreams. So he gives her chance. So that is a story that makes the story a tragedy. It is tragic in nature at the end, but it also gives us inspiration that we have to live for others. And the people who live for others, they are the most powerful, heroic people on this planet Earth. Now we'll discuss literary techniques. If you see symbolism, still the leaf, previously a symbol of life and death, now it embodies hope, it embodies resilience, it embodies human sacrifice. Now its purpose is changed. Before that, it was leading us towards death. We were connected. If they fell, someone would die. But now the last leaf shows us hope, resilience, and human sacrifice. Behrman's act of painting the last leaf transforms it from a natural object into a symbol of human strength and selflessness. The masterpiece represents the ultimate triumph of art. Art has won here, and it is also the ultimate triumph of altruism over despair and mortality. When you sacrifice something, you can become something that is to be remembered. Then we also see irony here. Throughout, we find irony throughout the story. So we find here too, and we find situational irony in Behrman's masterpiece. He had spent his entire life waiting to paint a famous artwork. However, his true masterpiece is not a public work, but a secret, life-saving act. How marvelous it is. His greatest success is not visible. It is not selfish. It is selfless. It is invisible. And it is not recognized during his lifetime. When he dies, then his sacrifice, then his masterpiece is recognized by people. People come to know what he has done, how bravely he has saved someone's life by giving her hope. And we see that foreshadowing has been fulfilled. What we saw, what we were expecting, it's been done now. Early references to Berman's masterpiece and determination hinted that something significant would happen. And now it has happened. The final revelation fulfills the foreshadowing. Something that we were predicting, we were anticipating. And it links the story's theme of hope, art, and sacrifice. Then if you see tone and mood, the tone here is extremely tragic, but it is also uplifting. Jauncey's recovery creates relief and hope, but in contrast, contrary to that, Berman's death evokes sorrow. So we have mixed feeling. On one side, we feel happy that Jauncey has recovered, but on the other side, we are full of grief that our beloved, our hero, has died. He's no more. So the mood emphasizes the power of selfless acts and human kindness. Human kindness can create miracles. So we can see the characters here, how they have performed, how they've been established or developed by our writer O. Henry. Here we see Berman is at the spotlight now, is on the spotlight now. Berman emerges as a heroic figure. In the beginning of the story, not in the beginning, but in the middle of the story, when he was introduced, he was portrayed as a failed, rough, and alcoholic old man who's angry, who shows anger, who's rude. But now we see that his actions reveal courage, artistic vision, and self-sacrifice, total transformation from unsuccessful person to the most successful person. Then Jauncey undergoes a psychological transformation. Look at her character. Now, where she was losing hope, she gets hope again. And she moves from despair to hope and renews desire to live. We also find metaphor and imagery. The painted leaf is a metaphor for life now, for resilience, and the transformative power of art. Whereas the stormy night imagery heightens the suspense and it illustrates the danger Berman faced to create the leaf, what he sacrificed to create his masterpiece. And it also emphasizes the gravity of his sacrifice. Now let's look at the style. We can also speak on the style. If we consider this paragraph, we find, again, there are certain things in style you can rewrite. You'll find certain points in every passage because we see that writer has written in simple language. It is symbolic, but it is emotionally powerful. Our writer, O. Henry, uses clear and direct language to depict Jauncey's transformation from despair to hope. See how difficult it is, how complex it is, but we see the words are very simple, but they give us very strong, powerful message. And it makes the shift feel natural and convincing. We also see the repetition of short, declarative sentences, such as the leaf was still there. That repetition of short And declarative sentences creates dramatic emphasis, and it also highlights the symbolic importance of the leaf. Then we also find symbolism is the most striking stylistic feature. The leaf represents resilience, hope, and the will to live. The contrast between Johnson's recovery and Berman's death adds emotional depth and irony, a hallmark of Henry's style. Dialogue, if you see, is used effectively to reveal character change, character transformation from negative to positive, from life to death, especially when Jonesy calls herself a bad girl. It shows moral realization. This is the best thing, that you realize your mistake. People don't realize their mistakes. You're lucky if you realize your mistake. The narrative also builds suspense gradually and ends with a powerful twist, the revelation of Berman's masterpiece that combines artistic expression with self sacrifice. And if we combine all of them, we find that the style is realistic yet deeply symbolic, and it is designed to evoke empathy, and it reinforces themes of hope, sacrifice, and the healing power of belief. The belief can heal you. Now, let's analyze this paragraph, this passage critically. It is the ending, and the ending demonstrates the central themes of our story of the last leaf. And the themes are hope, sacrifice, and the power of human compassion. When you're hopeful, you can sacrifice yourself, and your compassion can change the world. It can produce miracles. Jones's survival is not due to natural luck, but it is due to Brahman's courage and foresight. It shows that human intervention and emotional support can save lives. You have to take the first step. You have to intervene. You have to show emotional support, and you can do miracles. You can save lives of people who are just dying, who have lost hope, who are hopeless, who are in despair. You can give them hope. You can give them an opportunity to live. Berman's masterpiece challenges conventional definitions of artistic success. He has changed the definition of success in arts. It is not for public acclaim, but for saving a life. It makes art inseparable from morality. Art and morality go together, they complement each other. Then you become the greatest person. The story combines tragedy and inspiration. It shows that sometimes the greatest acts of creativity and courage occur in the service of others. They don't occur for your own benefit. You have to be selfless sometime. You don't do such kind of acts for personal glory, for personal success, for personal glorification, for personal appraisal. Johnson's recovery also reinforces the physical theme that willpower and hope are essential for survival. Without hope, without willpower, you are lost, you're gone, you're nothing, you cannot survive. And let us conclude this beautiful story. This final climax, basically, it resolves the story beautifully. It finishes the story in beautiful manner. Johnsy learns the value of life and hope, while Barman's selfless act immortalizes him as a symbol of courage as a symbol of altruism, as a symbol of true artistic achievement. And the last leaf becomes a lasting metaphor for resilience, sacrifice, and the transformative power of love and friendship. And it encapsulates the story's enduring message. So remember, my students, my children, that you have to, what message you get from this story, that you have to be selfless in your life. The person who is selfish can achieve so many things, but your eternal glory lies in selflessness. I hope you have understood the story. I hope you have enjoyed the story. I hope that the story has inspired you and you will follow this story in your life. Thank you for watching.